These are just a few reasons why it absolutely sucks to compete against Merab Dvalishvili. Each topic feels like one more round you wish you never started. And trust me, it only gets worse. The gas tank. It was around 2021 that I realized Merab was special. I saw him climb through the ranks and thought, this guy's a future champion. But there was one small problem. The person who was holding the belt was Aljamain Sterling, his teammate and close friend. Sterling became champ that year, and every bantamweight was gunning for his throne. Well, everyone except Merab, because he respects the bro code. Merab kept racking up wins, 8 in a row to be exact. He broke takedown records and shut down legends. But instead of challenging him for the gold, he was basically Aljamain Sterling's gatekeeper. And no, Uncle Dana was not happy about this at all. And even though we all love BFF MMA stories like Hamzat and Darren Till, Merab had to make a statement. So in 2023, that's exactly what he did. Let me take you back to UFC Fight Night 221. Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. Petr Yan was a former UFC bantamweight champion, standing at 5'7" and weighing 135 pounds. He had 16 wins, 8 career finishes, and 4 losses. No Mercy had defeated veterans like Jose Aldo and Corey Sandhagen. Yan had razor-sharp boxing and elite takedown defense. The guy trained with bears in Siberia. No, really, dude's like an ice-cold Russian Terminator. Merab wasn't too bothered with all that, though. Both of them were known for their pressure. But this was like an endurance test where only one guy brought an oxygen tank. I remember watching it live and thinking, alright, he's coming in hot, but surely he'll slow down by the second round. 15 minutes later, Merab was still chain wrestling, as if someone bought him a Tesla for every takedown he landed. That's when I realized how incredible this guy's cardio was. He doesn't stop shooting for the legs, ever. He had 49 takedown attempts. You could tell Petr Yan was just annoyed, bro. Merab turned his lungs into mashed potatoes. Some guys are dangerous when they land clean, others when they get top control. But Merab just keeps sprinting after you with his endless gas tank. Every round is a high-speed chase, like you've got a 5-star wanted level on GTA. Petr Yan was on defense for 15 minutes. Just like when she asks you, who's Kayla, after going through your phone. Unlimited takedowns. Before MMA, Merab trained to be a cop in Georgia. He literally studied how to chase down bad guys. That's why he's like this. The dude trained to run people down professionally. Now he just does it inside a cage while Dana White throws him bonuses. You can't blink without Merab shooting from across the cage. He to shoot. The man shoots, scrambles, stands, and shoots again. He doesn't need to hold you down. He just needs to touch your legs long enough until you mentally remove wrestling from your toolkit. And if you don't believe me, let me take you back to UFC on ESPN 11. Merab versus Gustavo Lopez. Lopez was 5'5" and weighed 135 pounds. He had 11 wins, 9 finishes, and 4 losses. Lopez stepped in on just 3 days' notice to replace Ray Borg and make his UFC debut. He was an aggressive striker with solid wrestling. But the guy wasn't allowed to shoot for a single takedown that night. He spent most of the bout defending, and Merab scored a record-setting 13 takedowns. He gave that boy Lopez a warm welcome to the big leagues. I mean, what did they expect? Merab's a cardio machine who shoots takedowns like a spammy wrestling character in UFC 4. Lopez had heavy hands and a solid base, but Merab turned that base into scrambled eggs. The moment Merab shot in, Lopez realized he was in for a long night. Even when Lopez got back up, he was deeper in the quicksand. Merab landed 13 successful takedowns and attempted 10 more that forced scrambles. Every time Lopez thought he had a second to breathe, Merab came for him again. By round 3, Lopez looked like he was trapped in a Georgia-sized washing machine. Rinse, takedown, repeat. The rhythm. You know that lag you get in online games where your inputs don't work right? That's what striking against Merab feels like. Your combos are out of sync and your rhythm is broken. Merab fights like he's got a 0-ping connection and you're stuck on hotel Wi-Fi. He completely breaks opponents' rhythms. If your plan is to feel out the rhythm, good luck, buddy. Let me take you back to UFC 278. Merab Dvalishvili versus Jose Aldo. Aldo, standing at 5'7" and weighing 135 pounds, was still a legitimate problem. With 31 wins, 18 finishes, 7 losses, and a 90% takedown defense rate, he was coming off a 3-fight win streak over Font, Munoz, and Chito Vera, a former UFC champion with 9 title defenses. The King of Rio is one of the sharpest strikers ever, not to mention his elite takedown defense. A Muay Thai sniper with nuclear leg kicks, clean combinations, and head movements smoother than Connor's whiskey. But Merab didn't care about any of that. In round 1, he just kept moving. He wasn't even landing big shots. During round 2, he was just feinting and level changing, like a 5-year-old whose sugar intake was off the charts. Round 3 could be summed up by clinch entries, foot feints, and fake shots. Aldo was confused, annoyed, and outclassed. Probably felt nostalgic for his WEC days too. Merab denied him the space, rhythm, and chance to throw the combos Aldo spent 2 decades perfecting. Aldo couldn't find a clean shot the entire bout. The constant pressure. Have you ever tried to swat a fly that won't stop landing on you for 15 minutes? Now picture that fly as a Georgian cardio machine with brick hands and a titanium chin, and a personal vendetta against your lungs. Merab takes damage like it's a warm-up. He drags you, jabs you, and knees you, all with a smile on his face. You can have perfect takedown defense, KO power, and abs sculpted by Thor himself, it doesn't matter. Merab makes your game plan look worse than the boys' group chat planning a night out in our mid-20s. Now, let me take you back to UFC Vegas 25. Merab Dvalishvili versus Cody Stamann. Cody had 19 wins, 6 finishes, and 3 losses, standing at 5'6" and weighing 135 pounds. He had a strong wrestling base, solid boxing, and durability. On paper, Cody was a nightmare matchup for Merab, but in reality, it was just a 15-minute cardio mugging. He looked great in the first round, until Merab decided to rain down on him with clinch knees, cage pressure, and sniper jabs. And even when Cody landed, Merab acted like he was sparring a toddler. He came in built like a tank, but still got ragdolled like a wrestling dummy by Merab. But round 3, he looked like he just wanted to go home. Like me, when my social anxiety kicks in. But unfortunately for Cody, and all of Merab's opponents, it's not over till it's over. Merab steals rounds, even when his opponents nearly finish him. He resurrects mid-knockdown. There are certain fighters who, for some reason, just seem reset when they get hit. Merab is one of them. It's like he thrives on chaos, but we'll get to that in the next topic. For now, let me take you back to UFC 266. Merab Dvalishvili versus Marlon Moraes. Moraes stood at 5'6" and weighed 135 pounds. He had 23 wins, 16 finishes, and 8 losses. The guy was known for his explosive striking. He landed a highlight reel-worthy knee on Aljamain Sterling a few years before. Moraes could end bouts at any moment, and for a second, it looked like that was about to happen. Moraes landed a clean combination and dropped Merab hard. Referee Keith Peterson was halfway to jumping in when Merab told him, "Nope, still here, buddy." Merab somehow still bounced back to complete the sequence. He scrambled back up, dumped Marlon on his head, and started throwing more elbows than The Rock in a wrestling ring. By the end of the round, Merab made it look like he was the one who started the round on top. It was a different kind of comeback. The crowd in the commentary booth were confused. It was like Merab just rebooted mid-fight. That night, he proved that clipping him once isn't enough. Just like that buddy who tells you, "Let's go out for one drink." Thrives on chaos. Alright, let's be honest here. Merab fights like he grew up with 5 brothers in the house, and they did nothing but wrestle with each other. He's got that Unhinged vibe that kind of freaks you out, because it seems like he's enjoying every minute of it. Ever seen Rocky 4? The one where Rocky prepares for Ivan Drago by training and running in the snow? That's literally what Merab did as a kid for conditioning. While I was trying to skip PE class, my guy was out there in the mountains doing drills. Let me take you back to UFC Fight Night 128. Merab Dvalishvili versus Ricky Simón. Ricky Simón weighed 135 pounds and stood at 5'6". He had 12 wins, 8 finishes, and 1 loss. He was also riding a 5-fight winning streak. Ricky was a powerful grappler and cardio machine himself, so he was ready for war during his UFC debut. And boy, was this a wild one. What followed was one of the most confusing, exhausting, and strangest scrambles ever. Merab caught him. Merab, out on his feet, went limp. And then he kept trying to wrestle on autopilot, right until the buzzer. I don't think he knew exactly where he was, but his instincts kicked in harder than the moment when you get up at that bar after drinking for half an hour. Ricky's got an extremely controversial technical submission win via guillotine choke at the final bell. But you're out of your mind if you think Merab tapped, or was even unconscious. Now check out this next video.